Today, we're shining the spotlight on someone who's been making a staple in the Vicksburg community. Join us as we get to know Mr. Smith.
I'm here today with Mr. Smith. What got you into teaching?
I think when I was in high school, one of my teachers recommended me for pre-lake vacation camp to be a counselor there. I knew nothing about it, and I went and found that you can change people's lives for the better by showing them different ways to do things. And at that camp, I learned so much about kids, about how to treat them, how to handle them, and it was just magical. So that'd be my answer.
Okay, well.
And by the way, I didn't want to be a teacher. That was the last thing I wanted to be. Both my parents are teachers. Both my grandparents are teachers. So when I went in, I was like, the last thing I want to do is be a teacher, but the call kept coming.
What did you want to be in the first place?
Astronaut.
Okay. Yeah. So you enjoyed it so much because you got to teach people how to do things differently? That what enjoyed you?
Yeah, they were all inner city kids from Kalamazoo, and none of them been out in nature. So we'd build lean-tos and huts and sleep out there.
Oh, wow.
And they were afraid because they'd never been outside. And they loved it. And I learned that some of the things that I learned as a child would affect people who didn't have my experiences. And I enjoyed it. So that's why I kept going with it.
Okay, so you enjoyed that. That's good. Well, for the second question, what's your favorite book to teach?
Yes.
And why?
No question.
No question?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
And for me, it's first and foremost, I love the story. And I love the story of how Atticus passes on his morals and guidance to Scout and to Jem. And we learn through Jem that he's already learned some of the things that Scout hasn't learned. It's a good story on race relations that ends up bad, but we learn good lessons from it. And Harper Lee's voice is so elegant. That's the first book I'm gonna read when I retire. Yep.
Have you ever changed a student's perspective on English if they didn't like the class?
I can't say yes. I've had students write notes to me over the years saying, I didn't like English until your class. And I want to believe them, and I kind of do, but it just doesn't seem like you can make that much of an influence on a person. But I've kept every note I've ever gotten for 30 years. I have them all at home and some in my classroom, and I read them at the beginning of every year, and I'll do the same next year, even though I'm not teaching. So I think it's the letters from the students letting me know that I somehow influenced their lives. I have come to accept that that's true.
I think so. I've heard that stereotype before I even took your class at the start of the school year that you'll make people enjoy the English class.
Good.
I think maybe I had a first hour English just didn't work out. I mean, being in first hour seminar is still like that. I'm late every day and I'm just not getting out to eat. So it's a big thing to deal with it, but not the reason. But have you had a most memorable moment while teaching that you can remember?
I can think of two, and I'm going to have to separate them. One was coaching track and field. We were state champions, and Coach Cash and I were sitting down in the end zone where we typically stand to hear the results. And they went through the results really slowly, and we were just waiting for the results. And at the end, and in first place, Vicksburg and the whole team. And the reason it was so magical is because that team would do anything we asked them to do. Go run a 4-mile warm-up. Yes, coach. And they did it. And without complaint, without cheating. That's why we're state champions. They listened, they did it, and that was very rewarding. And in the classroom, I'd have to say there are a couple students who have applied for universities where they didn't think they would get in, and they say I prodded them into applying for it. I don't know if I did that or not, but they got in and they were very happy.
Wow.
And so they both wrote nice notes and T-shirts from their colleges. So it was nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time today.
You are welcome.
Appreciate that.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. That wraps up a spotlight on Mr. Smith. We're excited to see what's next for you. We wish you the best in your retirement and thank you for all your years of service.